Welcome on into the Postgame show. And as always, it's your boy G Bush. We ready to go right here on the Barbershop. And we just find another way to take these L's. The Cleveland Browns find another way to continually take L's. And I'm just here to give you the good old I told you so. I done told you, and I've talked about a couple of things right here that we've been talking about since day one. We're going to give it to you right now. The Cleveland Browns lose 17-16 to the Bengals. Poor kicking, receiver drops, cost the Browns the football game. But this is nothing new for us. We've seen this before. It's the same old two-step. We've already got to where we need to get to going with this. We already understand what it is. We'll talk about why, and I'm going to tell you why this has been so predictable. And we fed right into this the whole doggone time. We'll talk about it right here on the Browns post-game show right here on the Barbershop. Welcome on into the Cleveland Browns post-game show on the Barbershop. If you was on UCSS, we got to pull up and see what we got for the real testament on the Barbershop. And we got to get to some things, man. Shout out to everybody. I went to OU. Shout out to my Bobcats, by the way. We pulled off the upset. We got it done. Bobcats beat the West Virginia Mountaineers in front of the biggest crowd ever at Peden Stadium. Congratulations. But this is the Browns post-game show, and we got to get right off into this thing. You know, when I be sitting here talking, and a lot of people want to call me the Duke and knee jerk, and they want to hang out and pull up and laugh and kiki and ha-ha. And G Bush, oh, you're just you're so negative. G Bush, you why don't you say something positive every once in a while? And I tell you all off season what the real testament is, but we get to the regular season and you're reminded why you actually listening, G Bush. You're reminded as to why you pull up and you realize what's going on, and you realize that why you actually watch these shows. It's because I'll be telling you the whole season. I'll be telling you all year long what's going on. I continue to give you the narratives and why the Cleveland Browns lose football games. But every time I'm focused on talking about why the Cleveland Browns lose football games, they make excuses for everybody in the organization as to why this is such a great place to be and why they're on the right track and continuity. This is 6 years. I've been watching this stuff since I've been 40. This is 6 years of Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, and it doesn't get it hasn't gotten any better. This is the same stuff. The Cleveland Browns continue to find a way to lose football games. If you've listened to me on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, what did I tell you? You have to listen. You have to play complimentary football. I told you about the kicking game. I've done whole blogs that say why kicking matters. I've told you for weeks on weeks on weeks on weeks on weeks. Every single draft season, I ask you, who are your playmakers? Who did you draft? Did you go get some receivers? Did you get a free agent receiver? And every single year, the Cleveland Browns come back and show up and tell me, we like our receiving room. We love our receiving room. We got people in the media that sell you a bill of goods about regular JV receivers. And then when you get to a game today and you lose a game that was a winnable football game in the National Football League, a winnable game in which the Cincinnati Bengals played like dog crap, in a game where the Cincinnati Bengals didn't show up offensively, in a game where the Cincinnati Bengals did everything that they could to hand you the game on a silver platter, you continually find new ways to give games away. First and foremost, I start off and say this. I thought Joe Flacco played pretty good. I thought he played pretty good. He had interceptions, but I'm not counting them interceptions that go on him. You know what I'm counting that on? Wide receivers. I'm counting, listen, Jerry Jeudy, you got to catch that football. You got to catch the football. Cedric Tillman, you can't dive and miss and the ball hitting off the ground and doing God knows what. And I'm going to keep it a buck. Because here's the thing. When these young guys get in, because they're going to get in. We'll talk about that coming up here in a little bit. When these young guys get in, I got to keep the same energy when the young guys get in. If the ball hits you in the hands, make the doggone catch. You're supposed to be helping the quarterback out, not undermining him. I thought the Cleveland Browns offense was basic today. It wasn't nothing special. It was, I'm going to check it to the left. I'm going to check it to the right. I'm going to dump the ball off. I think at least Joe Flacco decided that I'm not going to put the ball in harm's way. And Joe Flacco did enough today to get them a win. He did enough today to get them a win. But you got a doggone field goal kicker that can't make 30-yard field goals. 30-yard field goals. 30. You miss an extra point. You dominated time of possession the whole doggone time on the whole game. You dominated the time of possession. You dominated the line. For the most part, the Bengals tried everything they could to give you this game. Everything they could to give you this game, and guess what you did? You just rolled over and found a way to give it to them. You're dominating the time of possession. You make the field goal, right? You get the ball back at the second half. You go down and you score. It gives you an opportunity to go up. You got an opportunity to go up by 3 points. And football it's only a couple of plays here or there. That's what I always say. People be acting like people is juggernauts or lions and literal bears in the street. The games come down to a couple plays here or there. And the good teams make those plays. The bad teams compound their mistakes by doing multiple things wrong, like the Cleveland Browns. I said it on UCSS. If they would have just dropped the football and had the interceptions, but made their field goals and kicks, they win. If they just hold on to the ball, miss all the kicks, but they don't have picks off tips or interceptions, they win the game. You got what? You got both bad things happening. And this what makes me so doggone mad about listening to these stupid narratives throughout the regular season. The next time you catch somebody saying something crazy about Myles Garrett, feel free to disconnect and feel free to never listen to their stuff no more. I'm tired of these low-hanging fruit conversations in the offseason. Myles Garrett is better than anybody else we've ever had put a jersey on for the Cleveland Browns, save for maybe Jim Brown. And every single offseason, we got people asking about speeding tickets. Shut your mouth. I'm going to ask about your speeding tickets. I don't want to hear nothing about tickets no more. Leadership. You know what I want leadership? I want him to do what he did today. Give me be in Joe Burrow's back pockets every single time he dropped back in the fourth quarter. Shut your mouth. You're grandstanding. You don't believe none of that crap you say. He's just not a leader. He's just not a leader. No, you're just not good at your job. Shut up. I ain't want to hear that. Talking about leadership. Take that down to the Salvation Army, bro. Myles Garrett and the defense did what they needed to do and was dominant. I don't want to hear you talk about, well, what about in October? See, the problem is you let the real culprits off the hook. You let the real people off the hook, right? Because what? Our expectation levels were the Browns weren't going to be any good. Well, what did you think was going to happen? But you pick out Myles Garrett because you don't watch the rest of the game. You got receivers that can't catch a cold. And they've been in the league 4, 5, 6 years. And you make excuses for them. Then you make excuses for the general manager who picked him and drafted him. We like our receiver room. Stop telling me who the Cleveland Browns like. I don't care who the Cleveland Browns like. The Browns stink so-and-so. They don't know crap. How you think you're going to pick a quarterback and you can't find a kicker? You can't find one kicker. All you got to do is hit 30-something yard field goals. You can't do that. It's musical chairs. You drafted Cade York. These guys have no clue. They have no clue what they're doing. They're up there with pencils and calculators, wasting time and money. They're looking at spreadsheets and can't tell whether a guy can kick or not. You drafted Cade York in the 4th round. You blew that. Then you turned around, you cut him, then you claimed him back again just to cut him again. You got Dustin Hopkins. He kicked good for 1 year. You gave him a contract. You just had to cut him because he couldn't hit extra points. You got this guy from the UFL where he's at. He can't hit a 31-yard extra point and field goal to win a game. But nobody is enraged by it. Nobody cares. All they want to care about is you want to talk about draft classes and we were supposed to lose and why Kevin deserves and why Andrew deserves and why everybody deserves, and we keep losing games like this. That kicker didn't show up on his own. He was taken. He was called. Hey, you want to kick for us? Sure, come on in. Cedric Tillman didn't draft himself. I'm tired of seeing Jerome Ford. I'm done with Jerome Ford experiment. But then again, G. Bush told you that too. Oh, he's serviceable. Jerome's serviceable. You're too hot and cold emotional. I call what's good and not good. Because the reality of the situation is the Cincinnati Bengals played like dog crap. Dog crap. And you, again, under your tutelage, at some point, who's the responsible party? Who, if the players are the same this year, right? Right? We got the new set of players, but it's the same old stuff every year. Names on the back of the jerseys change. you know, everything where they come from with colleges, with free agents, who got drafted, but the reaction and what you put on the field is still the exact same thing. And the truth is, these are the games in which you need to be evaluating if you got the right people. Because games like this where teams bend over backwards to give you football games, but you turn around and give it back to them, that is a sign of a team that don't understand the moment, don't have the intestinal fortitude, and don't have the people in place to say, why is this happening? And I understand Kevin Stefanski can't go out here and catch the football for people. He can't, right? But he sure as hell can hold whoever dropped the football accountable, can he? You get buried on the sideline somewhere, and listen, you can't do it. You can't. Drops happen. I know CeeDee Lamb. Listen, CeeDee Lamb got more catches than everybody on this team combined. CeeDee Lamb, a first-round pick. CeeDee Lamb, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. The question is, how is it that you guys can't find a person? You can't draft. By the way, you can't draft. You don't do a good job of drafting kickers or finding them or evaluating them. That's one. You still don't got a receiver to sniff of. That's two. I argue that you don't develop any linemen. You don't develop and draft those guys well. What are you talking about? But here's what I'm not gonna do. I'm tired. the Myles Garrett grandstanding. That ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. I'm not gonna talk about it no more. Because frankly, it makes me very upset. Because it shows you don't know what the hell you talking about. How you, just dominant. Dominant. Back-to-back pressures, running people down. But every time there's a comment, it's, well, Myles could be doing more. No, you need to do less. You stop talking. I'd like you to talk less. What are you talking about, bro? Unless you put your hand in the dirt and understand what type of stuff we be seeing around here, this is the wild work we be having in this city. You got dudes running around making apologies for everybody else, but the dude you got that play well, the guy that you he deserves every penny he gets. He should get Kevin Stefanski's check. He should get Andrew Berry's check. He should get Jamari Thrash's check. He should get the kicking. He should get Bubba Ventrone's check. What are you talking about? He actually showing up, putting up numbers. If everybody else will be so less informed and talking about all the tertiary stuff outside of here and what happens on the field, because speeding tickets didn't get these Cleveland Browns beat today. Not having a doggone kicker did. So say something about that. Monday's coming up. Hopefully nobody gets speeding tickets. So you can talk about what the hell actually matters, which is receivers, which, by the way, can we talk about, hey, I've been asking you for 5 years. Are you going to get some receivers? And hopefully Jimmy and Andrew Berry was looking at the next receiver. They had LSU every week. Maybe you get us one of them receivers. That's what we care about. We care about speeding tickets and drafting quarterbacks. Get up out of here. And you're still losing games. But this is okay because our quarterbacks in next year's draft. Our quarterbacks it ain't the quarterback that's getting you beat. The quarterback didn't get you beat today, fellas. But when you still keep punting down the street, it's okay. Our quarterback's next year. Somebody got to catch the ball from the quarterback. Somebody got to put together some defense. Somebody got to make some extra points when the quarterback do get the team in the end zone. This is what the game has become. I'm an old school rap fan. The game is watered down now. It's completely watered down. Don't nobody think nothing else count but quarterback and fantasy drafts. Analytics. Well, I saw a stat the other day that said teams that it doesn't matter how many you score as long as your quarterback looks good dropping back. Oh, my goodness. This is a symptom of bad teams. Simple, point blank, period. And I'm going to tell you this too. Let me be clear with y'all. Y'all thinking that, oh, cool, well, this was one of the winnable games you had. This is one of the winnable games you had. Let me ask you a question. Did you by chance see Kansas City and the Chargers? You by chance see the high-level play week 1? You see how even the Cowboys and the Eagles, the Browns got one of the worst performances from their opponent that they're going to see all year. And they have the Ravens next week. This type of stuff is how you get to owing a lot very quickly. Let me give you an example. God forbid any of this happens. I'm just looking at it. Went back to 2016 and I looked. The Cleveland Browns are unbelievably thin at most positions that they have. This is why the smoke screen that they be doing and talking about our quarterback is next year, it frankly makes me upset. Because what it's doing, you're selling this propaganda like you're going to take a dude in the draft next year and it's going to change this dysfunction and this roster and the way they go about doing things overnight. No, it's not. And we don't learn anything by it. Johnny Manziel still out here talking reckless. They thought he was going to change that, right? Him? And he's 30 now. And he's still talking like that. This is what happens when you don't hold nobody in the organization accountable for losses and blunders and what they're doing in terms of the roster. You're a couple of plays away. Myles Garrett or Denzel Ward, something that happened to them, you're looking at Ofer. Tell you that right now. Ofer. People don't even see the Browns done fumbled the bag so bad. They didn't even notice how bad Denzel Ward was locking boys up. They didn't even know that. Like, think about that. Jamar Chase was getting locked up. Myles Garrett was doing what he wanted to. They locked up the number one offense like it was nothing. You lose one of them dudes, you might as well chalk that up. You already don't have, Dylan Sampson looked like he's gonna be somebody. Quit giving something. Look, quit doing that. I thought Harold Fanning, he dropped the pass, but I'm gonna tell you what, I thought Harold Fanning had a nice game today. But the receiving core, nasty work by Jerry Jeudy. You're supposed to be a number one. You talk about you number one receiver. Nasty work. Can't do it. You dropped the ball back to back. You dropped the fourth down pass that was in your stomach. Then you dove at a ball, knocked it up backwards, and it was a pick. Nasty work, Jerry Jeudy. I can't even, I'm not putting that on the quarterback. You're a number one receiver that got paid. No, I'm not. When you get young players in here, when Dylan Sampson or Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders start playing, the ball might be at another little tiny fraction of the way over. You got to help them out, bro. That's on you. It hit your hands. That's on you, dog. Nasty. Cedric Tillman. You know good and well you can't be popping the ball up in the air. It happens sometimes. It can't happen. That's the difference between playing on JV, which is the UFL, and the pros. That's the professional ranks. You've been here how many years? 4. How many years, bro? The Browns up front, I thought they did a serviceable job. I thought they did a nice. Now, as far as this running game, no running game. I told people that before too. All that Kevin Stefanski wants to run this, and I said, bro, let me tell you something. They're gonna win by playing smokescreen games and Flacco playing play action and throwing the ball. But you got to actually be running. You got to actually respect that they're going to run the ball if they want to do something. They're a couple players away from it being nasty work quickly. And now coming up next week, you got the Ravens. They're coming off a week against the Buffalo Bills. God forbid they look bad or they lose, because then you're going to have to go to Baltimore and they're going to be ready to go. Because for all these other teams, they jockeying for position. They jockeying for positioning, right? And if you're the Browns and you Joe Flacco, look, I'll tell you this. This was a game you needed, because every single game that you win, you get more grace. You can hold the water back. You can hold the levees a hold. You could have got a win today. Your stat line would have looked pretty good against a Joe Burrow team. And even if you would have lost the next game or a game after that, you could come back and kind of be competitive, maybe against the Lions, or you get you a win out in Europe against the J.J. McCarthy and a young Minnesota offense, right? But now you gave a game away. I'm sitting here telling you this is what it is. You gave a game away, right? They didn't do you no favors. The Browns in general did not do you no favors. Now, guess what? You 0-1. Pretty soon, if you got a run of L's here, it doesn't gonna matter what you're gonna do. Because it's like, okay, we 0-5, we 0-4. What are we doing here? See what I'm saying? And for me, I'm not jumping up and down and being and getting all excited about that, like saying it, because I already told you I thought Joe played pretty well. And by the way, when these young rookies get in here and playing football, the receivers ain't gonna change. They ain't gonna change. So the same stuff that Joe gonna deal with is the same thing that's gonna be with the rookies. And get this. Joe already got the answers to the test. He done played every defense, every offense, he know the answers. That's why it ain't there 2 seconds, check down. It ain't right here, boom, it's over here. Like, the processing, it's going to be a little faster. You know why? Because he got the answers to the test already. The disappointing part about it is I can't jump up and down because the rookies is going to be counting on these same receivers to make plays, right? To make some plays, to catch the ball when I throw it to you, right? Hey, Joe, he a veteran, but in his heart of hearts, he knew, well, that was one down. We gave that one away. Now he's going to have to go get one he wasn't supposed to get. Now you're going to have to go get one that you were not supposed to see, whether that's against the Ravens, against the Lions, against the Packers. You're going to have to get one of them. And the problem that I always have, and I always had a problem with this, is because we keep trying to put these cats on the same level. Mike Tomlin is not on the same level as Kevin Stefanski. It's not it. I just watched Pittsburgh come in here and get a win. I just watched Aaron Rodgers come in. Let me come here and get my little win. Come on now. Come on. Like stop all that glazing too. Y'all be doing way too much. Like, y'all be really warming shoulders up, man. And I'm not saying that Kevin Stefanski had a terrible game. I don't want to hear y'all in the comment section, G. Bush is trying to run somebody out of town already. Already he's running people out of town. No. What I'm telling you is this. Kevin got to get to a point where he might have to start calling out a couple of people in the press conference. I know, well, we just can't have that. We just can't. Listen, well, here's what we can't have. I'm going to tell you this. And I tried to get to it. This is what happens when people feel that there's no level of urgency to do anything now. Because if you don't got the urgency now, what makes me think that when you got everything assembled, you're going to even know how to go through the steps, get prepared, and be able to turn it on when you do got the team? All that losing has residual effects. Don't let them folks lie to you, bro. Like, the reporters will tell you anything they want to hear. Well, I think they need to have another year. Let me tell you something about a player. When you going out there and you putting your body on the line and you playing tough and you know you should have had a win, but people around you not doing their job, pretty soon the residual and the mildew and the smell and the stench of losing, it permeates everybody. You ever step in some dog mess? You only did it in one shoe, but can you tell which shoe is which from a distance? Your left shoe ain't got nothing on it. That right shoe do. Can you tell the difference? No, you just know something stinks. That's how losing is. And when you come off 3-14, and the only thing that you got is to say, well, our quarterback might be in next year's draft. Yeah, it's easy for you to say that and write that from your keyboard. And it's easy for people like me to sit up here behind these computer screens and talk like that. But somebody had to go through 17 weeks of taking them L's. And this is one of those games that you could have started something with. You could have started some sort of momentum, a winning attitude, something to be proud of. But yet you found another way to throw a game away, and we go to the podium. Somebody will probably tell me, well, Kev said this and this, that, and this. What about the kickers, bro? I'm tired of talking about kickers. If you're a general manager for the Cleveland Browns and you can't find a kicker and to make 31-yard field goals, what makes me feel like I'm going to be able to have you pick a quarterback that's going to lead me for 15 to 20 years, or identify if you have one on the roster right now? You can't find a kicker to kick for 31 yards. That's high school. Come on, man. Come on. You ain't hit on a receiver in years. And since you didn't hit on no receivers, it comes back to haunt you. It is what it is. So the Cleveland Browns go 0-1. They find a new way to lose games. It was very predictable. I put it on Twitter. When he missed the first extra point, I put it on Twitter. Hey, we know what this looks like. And here we are. Let's get to your comments. 2,700 people in, and hit the like button, hit the share button, wherever you at. Whether you're welcome on in Facebook, welcome on in Twitter, welcome on YouTube, on the Barbershop. Let's get it going with these questions. We'll go. Get your thoughts about it. Paul, the true believer. Couldn't even put up 20 points. Are you guys finished obsessing over Joe yet? I mean, that's the scary part. The Bengals, somebody said this in the other chat. The Bengals defense is going to be one of the weakest defenses you've seen. And all we was doing was running regular stuff, and they really couldn't stop it. But here's the point. You only got 16 points against that defense and was in the red zone how many times? Can't happen. Gee, we left the Bengals to 7 net yards in the second half when it comes down to losing close games. Is coaching. Kevin, isn't nobody enough to fear dropping critical passes? Oh, and the kicker has to be gone today. Terrell, I appreciate the super chat. Here's one thing that I think is important. Kevin, what are you doing behind the clothes? Man, I'm not here's what I am. People, I don't believe in none of this. Well, you can't call your players out in public. The hell I can't. What, you think Nick Saban ain't calling folks out? Huh? There got to be a healthy level of fear when you playing football at all times. That healthy level of fear is I could get hurt. That healthy level of fear is I could come out here and we could get blown out. That healthy level of fear is I could come in here, drop a pass, and never play again. That healthy level of fear makes you have an attention to detail. And it's not luck. It's not luck why people make pass catches. It's not luck why somebody decides. It's not a statistical anomaly. That's the part that data and all the statistics stuff, that the analytics stuff, it irks me because you're just you're discounting what goes into why people make catches and why other people don't. It has nothing to do with, well, just maybe because the numbers bear it out. No, it means some people has a process to make you, when that football comes, I've done it over and over and over again. And plus on top of that, I know if I don't drop this rock, I might never get back in this game. I'm not dropping this pass. But some places you go and some organizations you've been with, failing is okay. We say it all the time. What do you think what do you think when somebody says the Browns are in a rebuild? That is justifying losing. That is that's justifiable to say, oh, it's a soft rebuild. We don't have a quarterback. We're going to lose. It's kind of the same thing that people try to get mad at Myles Garrett for saying they don't have a plan. Well, they don't have a plan. They don't. Yeah, he took the money, and yeah, he said he wanted to be traded. He took the money, and he showed up today. Listen, you think I care about loyal, bad players? At what point did it become cool to just be, I'm a loyal player. I love Cleveland. That's all you got to say? We got to a point where you can say, I love Cleveland. I love Christmas ale. And I love, I just love the area. And you get free pass after. I want cats that can play. That's it. I don't want to hear you. Look, you could be from Pittsburgh. Matter of fact, if you want to be good, you could wear Steelers gear, underwear under the Browns jersey if you want to. Give me 5 sacks. I'll even turn a blind eye to that. I didn't see anything. I don't look at this draws like that. I want ball players. Stefanski's 6-year record is now 4-40-45. We need to stop finding excuses for him. Coach and management ain't doing their job to win, change the culture. But Neil. He can't catch the football. He called the plays out there. They got to catch it. He got 2 Coach of the Years. That's equivalent to how many wins? Again, I thought, am I saying, oh, it's all Kevin Stefanski's fault? No. But what I'm telling Kevin Stefanski is, you are responsible for who plays. If they aren't making the catches, then do something about it. If you don't have the receivers you need, take yourself right up to Andrew's office, and instead of talking about what y'all gonna do in the next Scrabble tournament, say, hey, how's about getting me a receiver from somewhere? Novel thought, right? You're the head coach. You know what's going on down there. If you got the guys you want or not, right, that can perform. But no, we wait every year and they say we like our guys. The Browns say they like the Browns keep saying, bro, if y'all don't stop this state-run media telling me what the Cleveland Browns want me to hear, I don't care what the Cleveland Browns want me to hear. I care what I see on the field. But the Browns think this. And 3-14 tells me why I should be paying attention to that. These people. Maybe it's just luck. It just happens to us. We done took L's so much that we be reading the fairy tale. The fairy tale leprechaun comes down from the sky and grants us wishes. No, he's just bad at football. And you allow it to happen. And then we make excuse. This is a rebuilding year, remember? That's who? Interception bad, that means you did not play good. If he played good enough to win, he would have won the game today. That take is oxymoron. More. Here's the thing. Nah, you can't say that. See this, you can have 2 things at once. If I throw you so here's the thing. If I'm in a marriage, right? Divorce is bad. But the other person cheated. Therefore, you're getting a divorce. You don't go to court and be like, well, one person, it was on both of them. No, it's not. Sometimes it don't be on both parts. You ain't got to do 2 things. If I throw you the football, it bounces off your hands and goes to another person, that's not my fault. I can't no, it ain't. If I'm faithful, I go to work, I treat you well, and you get caught doing some stupid stuff that you ain't had no business doing, that's on you. That's that's even worse. That's moronic. You can't, like, no. Certain things ain't created equally, right? Certain things ain't created equally. If you can't, Jerry Jeudy hit on 4th down, they hit a routine slant, and the ball bounces off his hand. Stop. We can't do that. Hey, why be mad? This is what we do. This is the most, that comment is the most, it's ironic, it's a little bit jaded, but it's also very dangerous. Because when we have that mentality that, hey, it's what we do, it's the Browns, we tend to then turn a blind eye to things that we shouldn't turn a blind eye to. Like, you know, these things that are continuously happening, at some point, it gets you to a point where you just check out and don't care. And then what breaks loose. I can't, I felt that way last year, but I can't do it this year. Because if I do it this year and I ain't highlighting what's wrong and why this is wrong and why this needs to stop, they'll continue to run this thing back year after year after year after year. Run it back, run it back, run it back. That's our favorite word in life, run it back. But everybody else that's regular in life, that got regular jobs, don't get a chance to just run it back. It'd be actually like consequences. You actually have to do your job in life. You actually have to understand that certain things have consequences, or you spend your life in jail, or consequences, you lose your job or your marriage, or like this type of stuff. It matters. I mean, you don't think it's funny that they can't find a kicker? Not one. Every year it's a revolving door. Browns 419. Miles kept us in the game. He did. Kept us in the game. And, you know, the funny part about it is I get mad because, yeah, he kept you in the football game. But people still keep falling for these stupid little tricks. I hate listening to some of y'all on, I don't care what platform I hate listening to it with all this mumbo jumbo about leadership and accountability. Man, listen, get up out of it. I need to stop talking about it because it really angers me, because people be trying to be morally grandstanding. Where the hell is you at today? You know what leadership is? Leadership is being like, you know what? Come follow me. Get on my back. Let me carry the team. Let me show you how we gonna cook. Matter of fact, you need a play, I got a play now. Oh, you need another play? I got another play. We do too much mud wrestling and tabloid talk. We addicted to it. I get it. You know, it's fun to speculate and all that other stuff, but when it comes to like the real nuts and bolts of what's going on, y'all guys be lost in the sauce. I need y'all to talk about the people who are not performing, not the guys that do. Don't wait till December. Where's Miles at? Where's how many conversations? I mean, Miles is nowhere to be found. I mean, what, after he got triple teamed the rest of this whole season? After he just been the most double team person, he's still giving you 15 to 16 to 17 sacks. He the most double team person. He got the highest grades. He the number 8 ranked player in the league. And that's the guy that you decide to soapbox on. Stop. Quit. Samson should be teaching the wide receiver. That's a shame. Sapper daddy. Samson played real. Samson, I don't need to see no more of Bambi. I don't need to see no more of Jerome Ford. I mean, but it sucks because I don't think Dylan Sampson has the framework to be taking all them touches and carries. So you need somebody else to take those carries. You just need somebody. So until Quinshon Judkins gets his case in order and the league figure out what they want to do, I think you're going to continue to see Jerome Ford. But I thought Dylan Sampson, on the high notes, I thought he was one of the high notes. I thought Sampson played well. Fannin had a drop on third down. But overall, I thought he had a pretty good. See, I can excuse. You're like, okay, the rookie made some plays. He made a mistake here or there. Cool. But I'm talking these 4-year, 5-year dudes, Jerry Jeudy and Stillman. No, you can't do it. We almost forced a safety too. Browns 419. I thought, listen, they collapsed the pocket. I thought Mason Graham had a nice rush on that one. I think he had a little tackle. I got to wait and see what I think about Mason Graham when all 22 come out, because most of the time when you're looking at defensive linemen and defensive tackle play, I need to see gap integrity. I need to see if you push the pocket, what was your hand placement, all that other stuff that go into whether or not you were effective rather than just the box score. So I'll wait till the all 22, but I saw him on a couple times. I saw him on a nice play down the line of scrimmage where he had a tackle. So we'll take it and look at that. Ward and Garrett are the last two players from the GM Dorsey. This is a Kevin and Barry team. We can't evaluate white talent, can't draft center, it looks bad. Ford is a waste of a roster pile, but Miles' leadership is the problem. Thank you very much. Very concisely said. I might just not listen. I might gracefully bow out of any conversation that starts with Myles Garrett. Can we talk about what? If it ain't him getting sacks and why people's triple time team him, I can't do it. And by the way, think about this, Sapper Daddy. Ward and Myles Garrett were drafted by Dorsey. He also drafted Baker Mayfield. I'm just saying. Where's all of the? I'm looking for the Andrew Bay. Hey, listen, by the way, Jed Wills is out of the league. He's a top 10 pick. Where's Siaki Ika? Ariane Winfrey. Okay. David Bell. Remember the big price money? John Johnson III. Then you follow that by Juan Thornhill. Okay. I'm just saying, just letting you know, I'm just looking for. This regime couldn't develop a roll of film. Speaking of, they about now that should be telling us, we just got to watch the film. Got to watch the film on this one. Go back and look in some things that we probably wish we had back, and we're gonna put it into the calculator, put it into the IBM 2000. We're gonna send this over to Skynet. We're gonna have the sentient machines from the Skynet and Matrix look over all of our data and tell us what went wrong. And then if it doesn't look good, we'll send somebody back in time. We'll get a Terminator to go back in time. Go look for Sarah Connor. These folks. Neil Gray, defense is great, but offense is not creative to outscore teams. Nothing has changed in 6 years. Our game plan is too predictable. We need a coach. No. Neil. Our quarterback is in 26. Don't worry. We got Jimmy in the front office going to every college football game. All of them. They've already been to LSU and Clemson. Obviously, they've been to Ohio State. We got boots on the ground. Kickers, who cares about kickers and receivers? Our quarterback in our stadium. 29 is, we got the stadium quarterbacks this year. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up, man. Can we go watch the Golden Arch, but we can't talk to Brian Hartline, who's putting first-round draft picks into the league for these past 4 drafts? Figure out how to evaluate wideouts. Oh, no. No, Sapper. No. we like our receiving room. And according to all reports, it's not about whether or not the guys are good. It's whether the Cleveland Browns feel about their room. Well, the Browns like. It's like just going to North Korea or something and saying like, hey, look, well, the regime in North Korea feels really good about their meal program. Human rights are at an all-time high over here. I'm sure they would say that, wouldn't they? Not mentioning anybody specific. Allegedly. Allegedly. I ain't say nothing. Don't report me. James B. The game was a crime of the century against the Browns fans. And the kicker is in the getaway car. Don't it see, James, even the Bible talks about it. People who are always coming into the knowledge, but never learning. You always gathering the facts. You always using everything I'm using this as a learning experience. We got to learn to win football games. No, you don't. That's a lie. How many times you going to keep making the same mistake without learning? At some point, you just got to do it. You ever wonder why certain people because it all starts with a top-down view. If it's okay to tank and go 1-31 with Hugh Jackson, now this new regime comes in, it's okay to tear it down and tank again. Because it's about the dome and it's about the process and it's about getting the quarterback. We got 2 first-round picks. I'm going to tell you that's going to get very old for you. That's why in football, they play the game. Because week after week, if they don't play good football, you're not going to give a you-know-what about 2 first-round picks. And neither should a general manager or a head coach who are tasked to win football games. That should not be anywhere in their mindset. Go back in the 80s. Nobody was sitting up here openly talking about, well, we got 2 first-round draft picks. No, because the NFL stands for not for long. And if you're not winning, you're not going to be here to take the people with your first 2-round draft picks. I'm here to tell you that, guys, fellas. Lit bag 9. What a name. Bad energy, curse, text, etc. at this point. It's this route. Wade, shout out to my guy. I love that. Love that profile picture, right? That go Cats. Losing to the special teams must stop. Short, succinct, to the point. Must stop. Lance Kennedy, play competitive and lose is the plan for 2026, baby. Somebody, watch this. Watch this. When you guys come across it, when you guys will be hanging out, coming across it, you'll chuckle a little bit. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to get to a point where you're going to hear somebody say it on Monday or Tuesday. Well, look, guys, I know this one was a tough loss, but if you look on the good side, I mean, this Browns defense played lights out. I mean, you look at the defense, you should be very encouraged by the way the defense played. Some bounce here or there. You don't expect those things to continue to happen. Sometimes it's about freak bounces, right? And, I think the kicking game needs work. By the way, it needs work. I think they should bring some people in to compete. But look, Joe Flacco, as we said before, he's giving you the best chance to win football games. Look what he did. You take away those 2 turnovers, and they thoroughly outplayed the Cincinnati Bengals, who have one of the most high-powered offenses in the league. These guys are going to be a playoff team. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to be a much difficult team to deal with. Shut up. Oh, I hate that noise. And they be thinking they be sounding good. Like can't nobody know what they talk about. Everybody can do that. That's the general playbook. That's the starter kit analyst. Everybody that want to be an analyst, that's the starter kit. That ain't leather seats. That's nothing. That ain't even power windows. You might not got power steering on that kit. You got the regular analyst voice. I'm gonna try to sell you why the Cleveland Browns, why losing a game where you had drops in the kicking game is trash still, why that's still a good sign for you guys out there. Don't you sell me on taking no L's. In Minnesota, I'll pay to see the game when they play. Shador, I'll send your super chats with my money. I appreciate you, Miss Bell. I appreciate you. I don't know how it would sell. I mean, even if, you know what, I could at least sell people on, hey, well, the team is good. Like, hey, listen, why, Shador's hanging out and sitting down and learning. Look at where he's learning from. Get some good tutelage. He's figuring out what the game is. And, they're winning football games. So, hey, maybe they might have a winning record by the time he gets in. And he's going to play some meaningful games, but we can't even kick the ball. And even when he do play, if they're going to keep dropping the ball like that, what we going to do? But I appreciate you as always. Can the supercomputer Dylan catch passes at receiver? I don't know, man. He might be able to digitally download a football. Like he might be able to, play some mind games, but that might be a question. Can we get him some Wildcat snaps? Here we go. The free Shadors is coming. Free Shador now. Season not looking good. Here's what I will say about this. I mean, Joe Flacco knows what it is. He know what type of time it is. He know what type of time he on. He got to win a couple of these games or it's going to get early quick. Because what happens if you're owing something? Ain't nobody going to be coming to see that. They won't. Right? That's just what it is. Now they need to beat the Ravens, or now you need to beat the Lions, or now you need to beat, because after you get to a certain point and you owe for something, we know what type of time we on. Truth ain't true. I miss Chubbs. You know what? If there's one thing, and I try not to be emotional about it, man, it'd be nasty work. The way they did Nick Chubb was just nasty. I don't like it. And I've been on record saying I just don't feel how you do that to a person that means so much to your community and do that. That's why I don't be doing all that leadership stuff. You know what I'm saying? That go back to it. All that jumping up and down, talking about all that leadership. Nick Chubb was a great leader. I wasn't jumping up and down talking about how the organization moved him up out of here. It was just business then. All that chatter about, team leader and this, that, and the third, cats don't even really be meaning that at all. They don't. Because they couldn't even let him go out on his own terms. They didn't even offer him no contract. They didn't even offer him a contract. They didn't even talk to him. It is what it is. Come on, man. And you got Jerome Ford. That's your prime time. Jerome Ford is your guy. Come on. Yeah. Hey, Lance. Joe. That's not his forte. His forte not gonna be dropping back, moving around like that. He's not gonna be sliding foot like that. Again, let me tell you this. Just for the record, I thought Joe played pretty good. But with that being said, if he 0-5 coming up here in a week, dang, I don't care how good he play. It's time to go. Time to go. You 0-5 on, so you better get you 2 out of these next 4 wins or something to prolong your clock. And by the way, Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry, if y'all think y'all gonna pull a 3 and something, y'all gotta win 5 games. Y'all get 3 wins again, one of y'all is gone. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If you get 3, if you don't get 5, you gotta sneak 5. You can't get under 5 wins. Matter of fact, we gonna put it in the chat. I ain't gonna play with y'all. Here we got 3,244 people in here. We're gonna put it to. I'm gonna ask you, how many games do you believe Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry need to win this year to keep their jobs? I'm gonna give y'all time to put it in the chat because I want to see it. Because here's what I need to do. I need to talk to the people because my brethren sometimes when you hang around the brethren too much, I hang around reporters and beat reporters and media people and analysts and freelance. I hang around in the industry way too much. You know why? Because in the industry, they be having a specific mindset. We be having groupthink from time to time. And they got me thinking that no matter what happens with Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry, as long as they got this stadium and these little picks, these little funky little picks that may not even amount to nothing, that they grade A is gold. Let's go through them. I need to know. Because let me get to it. We let's go. I know y'all ain't here. I know. Oh, let me get to them. Let me see. Dang. Let me see. Hey, Tafster, 5 wins is depressing. I don't know, G. The Stefanski sorority's biggest booster seems to be Haslam. Hey, look, that's right now. He going around seeing college football games. I'm gonna tell you, it's a long season. You keep taking these L's. Listen, Brooklyn Driver, they need 6. Chris Gillespie says 7. J 5. 7. Dang, 9? Kevin, 4. 9. Yeah. Santelli, you even got him at 6. And she Santelli even give y'all, she usually give you the benefit of the doubt. That's a lot. 8, Bianca, 8. 6. Wow. So Kimberly, you feel like he's here regardless. Like he has to win. Like if he gets 0, he might get fired. But if he get 1, he's safe. 7, 6. Truth ain't true. 10. 10. Look what. Hey, you're right. Look what we talk about. This is what we talking about. 5 wins. 6. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Kevin Stefanski reporting to Don? Hey, Kev, can you come in here and talk to me real quick? Yeah. Yeah. What do you want to talk about? Yeah, we want to talk about your job performance real quick. Yeah, we feel we have a good team and we're gonna go through some growing pains. And so what I want to do is set some expectations for the year. And I just wanted to go over your performance and evaluation before we get to anything. So what we really need you to do is I've talked to the management, I've talked to the senior council, and they said you're gonna need to win all of them. All of them. Yeah, 17 and 0. Yeah, I need you to you need to be the Dolphins. Yeah. 74. Yeah. 17 and 0. That's all I want to talk about. 3. Finally, 10. Jiminy Christmas. Ghost of Nessa, 8 or 9. John, I hope they only win 3 to be out of here. 7 or better. 4. Project Leroy said they're a lame duck coach and GM. 5, 7, 9 or 10 beyond 8. 4, 5, 10. We're going to show all of them. If you want to keep sending them in, we're going to show them. 3. Chris will say 0. Miss Robinson, you work with Don? Y'all work on the same support staff. Kevin, go to you. Listen, Miss Robinson, I was with Dawn, and seems to be that my scorecard looks a little skewed here. Could you take a look at this? She said all of them. And you're going to go back and say, well, listen, I do agree it's a little egregious. It's a little high. I got you. This new scorecard that I approved said you needed to win 16. Rochelle, 6. Okay. 8, 9, 5. Whew. Okay, I like what you did right here. Laomi. Stefanski needs 6, but AB needs 7. You know why? You know why Stefanski needs 6 and AB needs 7? Because they're going to say, if Kevin Stefanski gets 6, he overachieved. But Andrew Berry needs him to overachieve more than that to be hanging around. Because here's the thing, what he don't realize is this. AB does not realize, and this is why this season going to be very fascinating. He don't realize that number 1 pick that he had last year could actually turn out to be a anchor around his waist. A stone around his waist while he's flailing and swimming. You know why? Because those same 2 draft picks can be used to lower a top name as a general manager. Think about it. Somebody that don't really got a lot of faith in the Browns organization. They don't really know how it is work for Jimmy Haslam. And he may say, well, look, man, we know the Deshaun Watson thing is moving off the books. You can evaluate the 2 young quarterbacks we got, plus we got 2 first round draft picks. That can work out to be not in his favor. And I've always thought that Andrew Berry had more. I always felt that Andrew Berry had more to prove than Kevin Stefanski, just by default of having awards. Then you throw in the mix, Quinshon Judkins is missing time. You throw in the mix. I like that. I like that tweet. 2 wins. So you must feel. OH feels like that they done already made that pact, and Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski and talk to the ownership. 7, 10, 8, at least 8 to 10. Man, there's a lot of 10s in here, bro. It's a lot of it's a lot of 7s too. DeAndre. It's a lot of I'm more right here, lip bag. I'm more 5. I can see 5, 6. 0 because the owner's trash. Well, see, that's, the owner might be in on the mix. Chris P, at this rate, honestly, 4. Yeah, because at least four would be, that's low for me. I mean, I say 5 at least. 11. Project Leeway, I think you just keep raising your ante. Biloki says, I think the owner knows this is a rebuild year. I mean, but a rebuild year, back-to-back threes? Man, 17. We easily had this game. The loss was the kickers and tip interceptions. I agree. Dang, Debbie. 4, they don't care. That's actually, to me, that's the worst case scenario. And that's the one that makes me the most like thought process. Like, dang. Like, maybe it's to the point where they don't care. Maybe they ain't in on it. Squid Vet, Ohio. I would say 8, but Jimmy ain't firing those losers if they only have 1 win. That's wild. And you know what? That's not wild that you saying that. It's a wild. It could be true. I like this. A malfunction. I like that name too. Depends on how they lose. I think that does play a role in it. Don did talk to Miss Robinson. We'll move it down to 16. We got a couple more super chats in here. Let's get to them. Soul Train. The play calling was like they were up by 4 touchdowns. That's you know what the thing is? I wasn't overly impressed by the play calling, but the fact that this was a very winnable game and the Cincinnati Bengals played horrible really doesn't bode well for the rest of these games. Like, there might be some games where we're completely outclassed. I mean, this was a very winnable game. I mean, Cincinnati, if you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan, which shout out to my people out there. I just came from OU and I saw a bunch of Bengals fans down there. And one thing that all the Bengals, shout out to JT and Lord, the first thing they told me was like, bro, you know Joe Burrow don't play good against the Browns, and the Browns always get the Bengals that work, man. I will not be surprised if this is a squeaker if the Browns win. And they was right. Nobody down there was sitting there and talking about that they was going to blow the Browns out. And they was correct. Patrick Williams. To be honest, D. Bush, I hope the Browns lose every game. The way they doing Shador, not even allow him to dress is wrong. They're going to reap what they sow. Well, if they keep losing games, Shador is going to play. So if they're 0-something by the time Shador plays, or if they 0-10 or 11, yeah, he going to be in there by then. So I feel like you might have a change of heart. But they still might lose games. Granted, if the people don't play around the quarterback better, they're just going to lose. I don't care who at quarterback. You got to catch the ball. How is it the Browns find ways to lose? Culture, talent, or coaching? Well, I think it's Wade. I think it's just straight up. It's a combination of all three. The culture of every 3 or 4 years. And so let me put it in perspective. Let me see. Let me look it up. Let me see this. All right, let's look at this right here. Let's go. Let me do something for you. Here's what we're gonna do. Let me, and I'm gonna do this on the fly. And so, because I hate when people telling me that people is tanking, right? And I hate when people tell me this is a rebuild. I hate it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you why we take L's. And I'm going to say, and here's a reason why other people don't take L's. It's because if you expect L's and you accept L's, L's will be following you wherever you go. Let's take a look at this. I was able to do this on the fly. I don't know if you guys can see this, but let me pull this down, Wade. You say why. We'll take it down and put it back up. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers win-loss record since 1996. The Cleveland Browns have told you multiple times that it was going to be a soft reset. We talked about soft resets in 2010. We talked about soft resets. We went 1-31 over the 15 and 16 season. We got Baker Mayfield. We tanked for all them games, right? We got Baker Mayfield and Chubb. They're no longer on the team, right? All these people that we tanked for to lose all these games. Now they're telling us there's a new regime in town. We got to tank again. This is a new rebuild. Well, let me show you what other teams don't do, right? First and foremost, let's take a look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Starting in 1996 through 2006, right? Their coach was Bill Cowher, right? Well, look how many quarterbacks. They've had two coaches, Cowher from 96 through 2006. You go to 2007 through 2025, it's Tomlin. Let me show you something, right? The Cleveland Browns will sell you on the fact that, oh, we got to find our guy. We got to find our guy. Yeah, they got Ben Roethlisberger, but watch how the Pittsburgh Steelers consistently still do what they do, even when they don't got a franchise quarterback. Let's talk about it. Who's the quarterback? Mike Tomczak. They went 10-6 in 96. Cordell Stewart for 2 years, 97 and 98. They went 11-5 and then 7-9, right? They brought Mike Tomczak back again, right? 1999. They were 6-10, right? So they got Minimowski quarterback play throughout all of that. But watch this run. From 2009 and 7, they still over 500. Then they go, 2001, 13-3. Cordell Stewart was the quarterback. Then they go to 2002, Tommy Maddox, 10-5, right? They go get Tommy Maddox, they go 6-10, and then they get Big Ben, right? 15-1, 11-5, 8-8, 10-6, 12-4, 9-7, 12-4, 12-4, right? You keep going 8-8, 8-8, 11-5, 10-6, 11-5, 13-3, right? Still have Big Ben, 9-6. Steelers didn't fall back into nothing. Mason Rudolph in 2019, 8-8. 2020, 12-4, right? Roethlisberger 2021, 9-7, right? They went 9-8 with Kenny Pickett. They went 10-7 with Kenny Pickett. They went 10-7 with Russell Wilson. And now they got Aaron Rodgers, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers, over, what is that, almost a 30-year period, you can count on the hand how many times that they were under 500. And not one time, not once, did they ever get under 6 wins. Ever. You ask, what's the difference? What's the difference? Well, we expect, because guys are decent now, right? Because guys are cool now. Let's take a look at the Browns record. Let's take a look at the Browns record. It ain't about, no. It's not about the quarterback. Let me tell you what it's about, too. It's about the doggone coaches. But they won't tell you that. The Browns keep firing coaches. Well, you tell me what coach that got fired shouldn't have got fired. Okay? That got another job that's balling somewhere else right now. Let's start at 2000. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the 2000 Browns. 99 Browns. Here we go. Now, you tell me what the difference is. You tell me what the difference is, Wade. You pull this up for you. Get this out of here. We'll pull it up for you. Trust me. Let's take a look at what the difference between what the Cleveland Browns do. So you start off, now mind you, the conversation was Why do the Browns, put it back up here so they can see, how is it that the Browns find ways to lose? Is it culture, talent, or coaching? Okay, well, let me show you. 1999, Chris Palmer. Tell me where else Chris Palmer went and got a job that he was good at anything. No more jobs after that, never did anything ever, nowhere as a coach. Go to Butch Davis. He came from the University of Miami. Did he ever get another job in the league after the Browns? Butch Davis? No. He never got another job in the NFL, never did anything else. Terry Rubisky never sniffed another. He was an interim coach. Romeo Cornell, no more head coach. He was not a great coach. Eric Mangini went to the booth after this. You had Pat Shermer. He had 2 stints somewhere. Wasn't good. Chubb, we ain't seen him since. Mike Patton, anybody seen Patton? No. We ain't even got to get to, we don't got to get to Mr. Jackson. Greg Williams, Freddie Kitchens, we ain't even going to talk about it. We're not even going to talk about it. So when you get Kevin Stefanski for 6 years, right? All your other coaches was so trash that it made it look like, oh, we got something. We cooking. But let me show you how many times in those years that we've been sold on rebuild. Remember, the Steelers ain't never lose less than 6 games. They've never won less than 6 games since this time period. Well, let's check out the Browns. 2-14, 3-13. We just gonna count the ones under 6. Okay? The ones under 6. So that's 2-14 is once. 3-13 is twice. 5-11, 3 times. 4-12, 4 times. 4-12, 5 times. 4-12, 6 times. Guess what? 5-11 counts. 7, 5-11, 8, 4-12, 9, 5-11. Was that, is that 10? 4-12 again. Right? Just keep going. 3-13, 1-15, 0-16. Then you got the Kitchens, right? You had a 7, 8, 6-10, 11-5. We finally started doing something. Then 8-9, then 7-10, and then 11-6, 3-14. Count how many years that you've had double-digit years of under 5 wins. 5 wins and less. Take a look at what quarterbacks you had during that time. Tim Couch, Kelly Holcomb, Garcia, Dilfer, Fry. They traded him on day 1. Derek Anderson, Brady Quinn, Colt McCoy. Where's your studs? Brandon Whedon, Jason Campbell, Brian. Where are the studs at? McCown, Kessler, Deshaun Kyle. Where are your studs? These ain't no household names. Your quarterbacks was trash too. You don't got coaches. And then let's talk about your general managers. Your general managers who bring this type of energy to the table and keep selling you. How many anything under 5 wins is a reset in itself that year. But we still got people writing, this is a down year. Of course it is. On 6 or 1-5 is a very realistic lease to the schedule. Miami looks bad, so we may be able to lock that in. I'm a Shador guy, but want to see computer DG. That's another thing too. I want to see him play because that's on their resume too. They told us how much they like him. So let's see him play. I want to see it. Case Kevin Stefanski need to be put on PIPs. They suck. Kevin Stefanski needs to go. 0.500. Greg Castellanos. Appreciate the super chat. Trash coaches, RJ. I appreciate it. Well, listen, I feel like we didn't talk way long enough about these folks and how we moving. We didn't done enough. Cleveland Browns play the Baltimore Ravens next week. I'm not too confident about that game. But we'll be here to tell you about it. As a matter of fact, make sure you watch us. I'll be on UCSS all next week, 5 days a week. You can check me out on the Bleacher Report. My Bleacher Report updates for the Browns will be Monday through Thursday. And don't forget, coming up next Saturday, we will have the riveting return of the Barbershop, Saturday 9 to 11. With that being said, you never know where Jeepers might show up, radio, television, or internet. But if you want the fresh take on sports, we always here to give it to you. Have a great rest of your weekend. And as always, even though they be looking crazy sometimes, and don't be doing nothing most of the times, losing games they ain't supposed to, reluctantly, it's go Browns. Have a good one.